Good evening, everyone. I am Devang Ashturkar from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and I am currently in class 12th. And I have been recommended from 2FSB Mysore for NDA 146 course. And I have keen interest in India's learning India's strategic policies and the places which are strategically important for India. And that's why today I am going to give you a brief about the importance of Siliguri corridor. So please next slide. Okay, now today our aim of our today's presentation would be to know the importance of Siliguri corridor for India, and I would be giving light on the topics such as history and geography of this Siliguri corridor, how our economy and trade are dependent on this Siliguri corridor, and what are the strategic and the military aspects of this corridor for India. So next slide, please. Now, the first question which comes to anyone's mind is, what is this Siliguri corridor? Now, Siliguri corridor is nothing but a stretch of land. See, you can see this arrow here. Now, it is a stretch of land which is about 60 kilometer in length and 20 kilometers in breadth. And it is a sandwich between Nepal and Bangladesh. Now, its length and breadth, specifically the breadth, makes this Siliguri corridor of this immense importance of India. Now, what does this Siliguri corridor do? The Siliguri corridor connects the northeastern states of India, like Nepal, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and all, to the rest of India. Now, as we have discussed its location, it is a sandwich. It is sandwich between Nepal and Bangladesh. It has the state of Sikkim to its north, Bangladesh to its south, Bhutan to its northeast, and Nepal to its west. Now, some geographical information regarding this area. See, this area, as you can see, in Nepal and Sikkim in Bhutan, these are the Himalayan mountain. This is the Himalayan region. So this region receives good amount of rainfall, or we can say heavy rainfall. Now, one more thing which needs to be kept in mind is that the texture of the soil in this area is quite sandy, and sandy soil cannot hold very strong or big infrastructure, and that is a minus point for us in this region. And two of our major rivers, which are Tista and Jaldhaka, flow through this region. And just keep this map in your mind, because we'll be requiring this in the next slides. Thank you, sir. So next slide, please. Okay. Now let's take a brief look at its history, because now we can see it is just a 20-kilometer wide strip. Now, मतलब जब ये सब हो रहा था, so this doesn't seem logical that इतनी पतली strip कैसे हो सकती है ना? So the reason for this, let's take this. The reason for this can be found in the history of India. Now the map which you can see and which is in red color is the map of British India. Now Nepal, you can see, from beginning was an independent state, and in 1947 India got freedom. Now what happened? It was decided that India will be partitioned between two countries, which is Pakistan and India. Now Pakistan itself had two parts. One is the West Pakistan, which is today's Pakistan, and the other one was East Pakistan, which is today's Bangladesh. And now the person who has decided or demarcated the borders on the maps is Cyril Radcliffe. And the bitter part of this is Cyril Radcliffe never visited India. He has drawn all the maps sitting there in the in England. So that is why it can be seen that such kind of border issues or the border problems are faced by India even today. Next slide, sir, please. Okay, now we come to the next part of this topic. What is the economic or significance of this Siliguri corridor, and how it affects the connectivity of India to the northeastern states? Now, Siliguri corridor is our only passage to the northeast India. Now, as you can see here, there is a red line which passes through the Siliguri corridor. Now, this red line is National Highway number 31, which takes us to the state of Assam. And the green line which you can see coming from Kolkata, this is National Highway number 10, which connects Kolkata and Gangtok. Now these are the two major highways which connect the rest of the India through Northeast and Sikkim. And speaking of the railways, see, there is a famous railway station, New Jalpaiguri, located in this corridor only. Now, New Jalpaiguri is a linkage between the Guwahati railway station in Assam, which and the railway track which further goes into other states also, and the rest of India. Now, since New Jalpaiguri is situated here, it is also of great importance to not just the passenger transport, but also the freight transport also. Now, the next thing is, as I have told you earlier, this region is located at the foothills of Himalayas, and also it receives plenty of rainfall. This region has been flourished with natural bounty, and it's a famous tourism place also. You might have heard about the Nathula Pass or the Changu Lake, which are in the state of Sikkim, and also you might have heard about Gangtok, which is a famous tourism spot and also the capital of Sikkim. Other thing is the Jaldapara National Park, which is famous for elephants. So this Jaldapara National Park is located in this Siliguri corridor, and you might have also heard about Darjeeling. Darjeeling is famous for its toy train and timber and the tea plantations. Now, also this our famous tourist places are also located in this Siliguri corridor. So next slide, please. Now let us see what is the importance of this Siliguri corridor for the people of Northeast as well as the people of India. Now, if we take a look at the people of Northeast, they are mostly tribal people and have very different culture from that of rest of India. They are in their way preserving their culture, but on the other hand, their culture is quite opposite to what Indian culture is, or it is different from Indian culture. It's not opposite; it is different from Indian culture, and the things which we didn't consider to be good, like smoking and all, it's very common in this kind of cultures. Now, one more thing which the problems of northeastern states is it is illegal immigration, may it be the Rohingya immigration from Myanmar or the Muslim immigration from the Bangladesh. But illegal immigration has been a major problem of northeastern states. Also, the northeastern states demand for separate country of their own, and hence there is a lot of insurgency in northeastern states. So these are some of the problems of northeastern states. And one major problem of northeastern state is, as you can see here, the triangle, yellow color triangle, and beneath that there is a red colored mark. So this is called as golden triangle. Now this golden triangle is famous for drugs, means all kinds of drugs, let's say heroin and hash, and all this is produced in this region. Now Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos, these three countries comprise of this golden triangle. Till 2006, it was the largest producer of drugs. And what happens now? Through these golden triangles and the northeastern states, all these drugs are transported in or trafficked in India. Now, if we can see, as it is just a 20-kilometer wide strip, it also provides India with some good points, as it acts as a choke point between northeastern states and India in benefit of India. Means, let's say these problems present in the northeastern states can be restricted from spreading to rest of India through this Siliguri corridor. No, also one more thing is we can keep a check on everything passing through this corridor, as this is a very small piece of land to administer. So next slide. Now comes the strategic importance of this area. As you can see in the picture alongside, see in the yellow part is Nepal, the red part is China, the green part, light green part is Bhutan, and somewhat blue part is Bangladesh. And a mild red color which you can see between Nepal and Bangladesh, this is the Siliguri corridor. From the image itself, you might guess that how significant this place is for India, strategically speaking. Now, these surrounding countries, if we say Nepal to somewhat southeast of this corridor, Myanmar is located, but it's not in the map, and Bangladesh. See, in these three countries, China has made heavy investment in terms of infrastructure. Means in Nepal you have railways connecting China to Nepali cities. In Bangladesh also it is trying to develop infrastructure. So this poses a threat to this Siliguri corridor. Now, heavy investment has been done for various other projects, hydroelectric projects, let's say in Nepal also, in Bangladesh also. Now, one more thing of importance is to be noted that, see, when we cross the Siliguri corridor, that is our only way to reach the LAC. And the China border here, all is LAC. Now, you can take a look how important this corridor might prove in some adverse situations. And even in normal situations, this Siliguri corridor is of immense importance. Now, speaking of broader uh, area, see, once we cross the Siliguri corridor, we need to cross northeast, and then we are in the Southeast Asia, and also the ASEAN nations, means Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and all that. So this Siliguri corridor presently is our only gateway through the land route to the Southeast Asian nations, and this also makes it of great importance for India. Next slide, sir, please. Now, coming to the military aspect of this, now it's quite unclear in the map, but all the deployment in the northeast is somehow dependent on this Siliguri corridor. Now, if we remember the Doklam incident, see, the Doklam is situated somewhere. Doklam is situated to the east
previous
of.
slide में बोल सकते हैं, previous slide में बोल सकते हो.
Yes, sir. So here, yes, sir. There only, sir. There. Okay. So Doklam is situated there, and from there, see, what was the issue? China wanted to come inside the territory which is controlled by Bhutan, which is a Bhutanese territory, and Doklam is a plateau. And on a plateau region, you can bring in your heavy weapons, like say heavy RT and all can be transferred to plateau. And as you have taken look at Doklam, so this Siliguri corridor can be easily targeted from Doklam plateau itself, because the distance is just 100 kilometers. So that is the strategic or the military importance of Doklam Plateau. And also we can see how uh, insecure this Siliguri corridor seems from that area. And also around 2 lakh of our troop deployment, which is in the northeast region. Basically, the covering is 33 corps, which is located at Siliguri, 4 corps, which is located at Tezpur, and 3 corps of Indian Army, which is located at Dimapur. Now, all this is replenished, the logistical supply, the food, and everything depends on this Siliguri corridor, because everything cannot be airlifted. You need to have roadways for that. And all your roadways passes through this Siliguri corridor only. Now, military speaking, Siliguri corridor again becomes very, very important for India. Now, if this is this much important for India, there might have been efforts to secure this base, and definitely there have been efforts. The first thing is the 33 Corps, which is itself located in the Siliguri corridor, and Air Force also has two of its major Air Force station. One is Hashimara Air Base, which is on the border of West Bengal and Assam, and which is currently hosting the second squadron, the 101 Squadron Falcons of the Rafales, which will be inducted. And the other one is Bagdogra Airfield or Air Force Station, which is on the eastern side or on the western side of this Siliguri corridor. Now we have secured the Siliguri corridor by placing one of our air bases on either sides of the Siliguri corridor. So at current, this seems that we have well fortified the Siliguri corridor. So next slide. Okay, now what can we do or what is required in this area? Now, one thing is that if you want to make a good connect with Northeast, you need to have better financial projects and infrastructure in that region, so as to economically develop that region. Now, one more thing, one thing which has been done is there is a lot of Japanese investment in this area, basically regarding infrastructure development, may it be road development, may it be some development regarding to electricity projects and all that. So there has been a lot of uh, financial help from Japan. And also, India is nowadays trying to achieve overall economic growth of this region. Now, the next thing is the major issue or the crux of this Siliguri corridor is the connectivity issue. Now, see, not to bypass, but to increase our connectivity to the northeastern states and to find some other routes, we have tried few things, which is the first one is the Kaladan multimodal transit project, which was well explained by yesterday. So this project will connect Kolkata to Sitwe port and from Sitwe to Aizwal, which will be a road and also by water routes. Now Kaladan project will prove an alternative to the Siliguri corridor. One more thing is last year we signed a treaty with Bangladesh, which is called as Kolkata Agartala linkage. From Kolkata, we will, using the sea route, will dock our ships at Chittagong. Chittagong is in Bangladesh. It is a port in Bangladesh. And from Chittagong, we can use land or the road to connect ourselves with Agartala. And the third one, which is, it is called Tetulia corridor. Now, it is a previous route. Now, it is very much close to Siliguri corridor, but this Tetulia area currently is in Bangladesh. So, the talks are going on so that the Bangladesh gives us permission to operate through this corridor also. And if these three projects are somehow come to reality, then it will be of great help to India and our dependence on Siliguri corridor will be reduced. So, next slide, please. Now, in conclusion, I would like to say that Siliguri corridor in all aspects is of immense importance to India. It is a backbone of India's transport connectivity, and military also is heavily dependent on it to connect India to the northeastern states of India. And in a way, it is very beneficial because, as I told you, the problems of northeast cannot reach India because of this choke point. And one outcome was of this presentation is that we always need to have alternative routes so as to reduce our dependence on this Siliguri corridor. So this is all from my side, guys. Thank you.